Before I started saying that fruit is the only food for humans and will solve almost all the problems on Earth, I made up that phrase very with tons of thought involved on in it. But anyway, so before I made up that phrase, I started out saying things like meat is harmful. Like I'd say vegetables are fruits and vegetables are the only diet. Like um I would say like raw food is healthy and cooked food is unhealthy. I would say raw vegan, fruitarian, natural hygienist, HL HCLF. Wait. HCLF 811RV, which is high carb, low fat, 80 10 10, 80% carbs, 10% fat, 10% protein, raw vegan. NH natural hygienist. Like, I try to come up with lightning in a bottle phrases that I could easily tell people the most deepest truth on earth in just a single sentence. And I like I was saying, the body heals itself. Nothing can heal the body except water fasting, supervised only water fasting, and spring water. And like, that's too long of a sentence, and it doesn't really encapsulate the entire message, really. And I could say, like, I started saying fruit is the only food for humans, and that wasn't enough, because it's not just about humans, and when people think about that stuff, they only think about health. And like, this is way deeper than health. Like, I'd say health is just like the biomarker. It's like this thing that is one of the things that humans have the most problem with on Earth. 1 out of 2 people perish from canceration. Like, 99% of humans on Earth croak prematurely, like way beyond their time. And they have serious issues throughout their entire life, health-wise. And that's why health is like the main problem of humanity, but it affects every facet of life. It affects everything. It affects your belief system, your philosophy, your principles, your practices, your values, your ethics system, your legal framework of mind, your social dynamics, your thoughts on politics, your thoughts on like finances, your ability to do talent and activities, your ability to have deep social bonds, your ability to... It just affects like everything, and that's why I tagged on the end of it. That's why I start with fruit is the only food for humans. Like, I could say the water fasting thing and whatever, but it's just too much. So I'm trying to make it down, reduce down into just a few words, a simple sentence that I would think that people can understand, but it seems to, like, even that's such a simple... It's like a 7th grader could hear the words fruit is the only food for humans and will solve almost all the problems on Earth. Like, those are all words like a 7th grader could comprehend, but it doesn't seem to make sense to hardly anyone, because they only think of fruit as something that's like a healthy snack for health. They don't think of fruit as affecting every single part of life on Earth. And that's why I added, and it will solve almost all the problems on Earth. I'm not saying fruit, and that's why I said almost all the problems. Because it's not only fruit, it's that your body heals itself, and you have to water fast to let your body heal itself. You need to get out of your freaking way, because you keep putting things in and on your body that aren't supposed to be there. And so you need to eat only fruit. That's like the biggest thing, is because you need to stop putting the poison in your body. And at least if you're putting the correct thing in your body does still heal. It always heals, but it's just healing at a slower rate because you're still putting food in it. And when I say almost all the problems, obviously there are a very small amount of things that it's a cascade effect. So it's not like everything is directly related to fruit. Fruit isn't gonna like at the flick of a switch solve your living paycheck to paycheck problem. But it's going to have a cascade effect that will cause you to be able to have more energy, to create more time, to be able to create more money. Like before I started eating fruit, I was living in a 3/4 way house. I was living with my mom. I was homeless. I was working 30, 40 side jobs, going to labor ready and working, these seasonal jobs and stuff. And I barely, I barely made money to, live. And once I actually started eating only fruit, I've been working, literally I've had, 5 days off per year for the last 10 years. I haven't been sick. I've been sick twice in the last 10 years, and those 2 times were from circumstances that were not optimal. I could have done, if I'd done it optimally, I wouldn't even have been sick. You're not supposed to ever be sick in your entire life. Be able to work. I work 14 hours a day for 10 years straight. I've made probably $300,000, $400,000, and I've gambled 80% of that because, whatever. But anyways, that's personal. So it will solve almost all the problems. There are things that we don't have to get into now. There's a very small amount of things that can't be solved by fruit, and I don't really have a list laid out right here, but I'm sure we could come up with a few. It's kind of like a gray area because fruit can substantially cascade, sequentially affect something, but it depends on the percentage or degree. This is a very long-winded answer, and nobody has the patience for this anymore. I question. No one has ever told me. Do you know I've been doing this literally over 100,000 people in my life? I've told this information to, and I've not once had one person tell me that I've changed their life. It would make my decade if one person told me that what I've done has changed their entire life. Because the information that I've obtained, that I've actually told you, was a 1 in a million thing. Very few people get this information. It's extremely rare. It's like the people who have this information are the most precious jewels on earth right now. And the information is the most precious information on earth right now. And I won the lottery by finding it out, and it took me a few years to actually understand it. And so for the last 10 years, I've been telling everyone all day, every day. And it would be nice just to hear one person. I haven't made $1 on any of this information. It's the worst thing in the world is that the more I try to help people, the worse criticism I get. It's the exact opposite. Imagine you have the best information on earth and you get hated worse than you would if you even had none of it. It's ridiculously ironic, the world, how it works.